Right. Let's begin.
Disaster happened.
Last year for that. There was that's a big accident.
Oh my gosh! Found unconscious when the car finally stopped, but luckily he survived. In fact, when he opened his eyes, he even asked if he could participate in the next Grand Prix. Man, these guys are tough. But this was still nothing compared to the crashes coming up next, like the one that happened in Australia, which made 8 cars retire from the race. And of course, the craziest F1 crash, which shocked the entire world. But first, check out what this driver, Vitaly Petrov, did, especially since he decided to jump. Even his steering wheel came off. Now that's crazy.
Oh.
As crazy as that. Because what happened here was simply a joke. It was the Austrian Grand Prix, sunny skies. Everyone was expecting a normal race, but what they actually got was everything but normal. Because right at the race start, this happened.
And as you see, there is a shambles as 2 cars spin off, and now
the race got red flagged, and after all the mess was cleared, the grid started readjusting to have the restart. But little did they know, right after the restart, an unbelievable thing's gonna happen, which will affect every driver's race. And while the cars get ready for the restart, check out what happened here in Monaco, since these two went on top of each other.
Nice place to park, isn't it?
I suppose it has reduced the amount of parking space needed.
I guess they just couldn't control themselves. But this driver couldn't control his car either, which ended so horribly, it even became life-threatening. It was qualifying in Hall. Felipe Massa was having a normal session, but then, all of a sudden, a spring got loose from the car in front, which suddenly came flying towards him. Before Massa could do something, the spring went through his visor and hit him above the left eye. This made Massa unconscious, while he was still going at full speed. Ultimately, he went straight across the runoff area and crashed. Felipe was quickly taken to the medical center. And
I remember talking about that.
Horrific incident, but nothing's
Crazy.
crash.
He's having a go again now, getting a taste of burger.
Oh my gosh.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Now that's...
Woo!
This driver did something crazy too, which even destroyed the race.
the Italian Grand Prix, we've got a car approaching sideways. He takes 2 out with him. Somebody arriving sideways down.
Now that's one way to overtake, but before I show you what happened at that restart of the Austrian Grand Prix, check out this crash in Australia, as it was simply a disaster.
With Ralph Schumacher trying to squeeze through David Coulthard, and contact! Ralph Schumacher in the air! Cars all
Oh
over
my gosh.
8 cars retired due to this. 8. And these 2 retired from the race as well. But the reason for it is not so good. Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Raikkonen were fighting for the Canadian Grand Prix win, but it was Lewis who got in the lead and even made an early gap from the rest. Things got pretty boring as Hamilton kept increasing the gap, which meant ultimately he's going to win the race. But then a car stopped on track, which caused a safety car. So almost all the top cars pitted to get a cheap pit stop, which included Hamilton and Raikkonen as well. Finally, the race got exciting as everyone believed the top 3 will now fight for the win.
For a good 8 or 9 seconds. Hamilton has smashed into the back of Raikkonen, and that is an unbelievable thing to happen.
Oh dear.
F1 champions, everybody. But at least nothing major happened. And like this crash, which was so crazy, it'll shock you. It was the Brazil Grand Prix. Mark Webber just had a major crash. Debris everywhere. So much so that the safety cars and yellow flags were brought out immediately. Unfortunately,
It's amazing they survived these, you know.
behind Mark Webber didn't see the flag.
Shocking, isn't it?
Disaster.
He wasn't aware that. And we've got a stopped red flag. We think Alonso's.
Survived with no major injuries. But this, another Brazil race, did give one driver some big injuries, mental injuries. Max Verstappen was the favourite to win the 2018 Brazilian Grand Prix. He did everything correctly in the race, made the crucial overtakes, managed his tyres. He even built a decent gap from the rest, so it was clear Max was going to win the race.
That is Max Verstappen, the race leader, and he has spun coming down the hill.
What an idiot! What an idiot!
That was Esteban Ocon.
I think when you're a lap behind.
Max lost the race, of course, and finished P2.
I don't know what to say, mate. Yeah, I know what to say. I hope I can't find him now in the paddock, because then he has...
He even stopped his promise and gave a polite thank you to his new best friend. But seriously, that was some crazy reaction. Comment below what you think of this. Was Verstappen's reaction justified? But I know this
Of course.
reaction
He
was
almost
completely
could have died.
especially since he went through a horrible crash.
Oh my gosh.
Und steht zur Debatte, dass auch ein bisschen schwerer Unfall von Villeneuve in Eau Rouge.
It does make you wonder why they do this.
Out the car as if nothing happened.
Thing is, I would still want to do it. Wait, pause the video for a second.
Austria race. Since it took
Having seen all this, I would still want to do it.
There's absolutely no way I would do it.
Because I just think like the sheer thrill of like, you know, driving the car as fast as you can and becoming a champion. I just think that what a feeling that would be.
Would
But
be,
that's just,
but
that's just
oh no, not for me. Then again, you'd have to go through lots of years of driving to get to this point as well.
yeah, I was say like obviously it'll never happen now, but if I could restart and somehow I was super rich, I had a lot of sponsors at a young age, this is what I would do.
I guess it would feel less terrifying if you were used to like driving. Like you went up through like go-karts and you got into the Formula 3, blah blah blah. Like it'd feel
Yeah,
less terrifying. But
you make your way through the ranks. But you say this, accidents happen at regular speeds, so
they do. But there's no way I'd be doing this though.
oh,
That's
I'd love
crazy smashes.
right, let's keep going. I'd love to though.
To clean the crash's debris, everybody was looking forward to the race starting again. But right at the restart, deja vu happened.
Oh my word. What are they all doing?
They crashed again. Nigel Mansell's slow starting Williams caused this second crash. 12 cars got involved in this chain reaction, so the race again got red flagged and took over 2 hours to restart. And finally, on the third try, the race started normally.
3 cars
Ironically,
left.
It was Nigel Mansell who won the race. Crazy, right? But now that we're entering the top 3 craziest crashes of this video, things are gonna get even crazier. Like this crash of Michael Schumacher, which was so brutal, it could have ended his life. It was at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Everybody started well until this happened.
Side by side and they make contact. Michael Schumacher round.
But surely will have to be the safety car, won't it? Michael Schumacher's race.
Will he?
Oh,
That was close, but not as close as this crash, because this was just disastrous. It was the race start of the German Grand Prix. Everybody was paying attention to the race leaders, until this backmarker, Luciano Berti, created one of the biggest crashes of the century.
Massive accident. Luciano Berti rolls into
oh wow.
That's short to bring out the red flag, Martin.
They will a red flag and a safety car is standing by. It says on the
Red flag, black flag the race. What are you
So
talking
many
about?
injuries, he had to quit Formula One forever. But now, the
Yeah,
moment
amazing he
we've
managed
been
to walk
waiting
away
for,
from
the
it.
craziest crash of this video. It was the European Grand Prix. Kimi Raikkonen was in the lead and about to win the race. The McLaren driver was performing well until he had a big lockup, which caused a flat spot on his front right tire. Raikkonen also damaged the barge boards, which are behind the front wheels. Clearly, the state of the tyres was not good. But he and the team decided to still keep going, as they didn't want to lose the leading position. This made Raikkonen's job very difficult, because with every lap, the car was getting harder and harder to drive.
Oh, my
the tyre
word.
damage was creating major vibrations throughout the car and suspension, and was causing trouble under braking and through corners. But he still kept it together, and so still stayed P1.
That's
Everybody was
amazing.
ready to celebrate, as it seemed Raikkonen
It's
pulled off a
skillful.
miracle, until the final lap came. Because since the car was almost toast, McLaren's nightmare came true.
Raikkonen is under real pressure. There goes the tyre, let's go. He would have got a podium if he'd pitted, instead of which he's going to get absolutely nothing. He wanted to stay out there. The common sense man said bring him in. They didn't do it.
Safe to say, the team wasn't happy. I guess no one would be, especially since he was only a few turns away to victory. But not Raikkonen. He didn't care much about the race loss. Why? Because he's a legend.
Kimi, you don't regret anything about the last lap, do you?
No.
Like I said, legend. But you know what's even more
Short
legendary?
tweet.
The most
No.
insane races in history. Like the time when one driver was racing at full speed while his car was on fire. Or when a race got so out of hand, it created the darkest moment in history. And I know you want to know more about this. So click the video right here.
Wow.
And
There you
that's the end. Yeah, I think in future I'm gonna answer more questions like that instead of giving like a long spiel, just a yes or a no.
To be fair, mate, you do sometimes.
But anyway, that was the top crashes in Formula One. Thank you for watching. Have a good week. See you soon. Bye bye.
Till next time.